So problem 54 is an example of a syllogistic argument. This is on page 178 as well. It says some submarines are yellow, all dandelions are yellow, therefore some dandelions are submarines. So what we're supposed to do is draw an Euler diagram to decide whether or not this is a valid argument. Now an Euler diagram is very similar to a Venn diagram because it treats the items in the arguments as different sets of things. So for instance, in the first premise that some submarines are yellow, we have two different types of things. We have all the submarines in the world and all the yellow things in the world. And so we find out that some, if these are the set of submarines and these are the set of yellow things, some of the submarines are yellow. So there's some overlap between submarines and yellows. Now, the second premise says that all dandelions are yellow. So if you take the set of all the dandelions in the world, they have to be inside, completely inside the set of yellow things, because every single one of the dandelions, according to that premise, is yellow. Okay, so it's important to realize they can make up completely crazy statements in here, and we're still assuming that they are true, and we have to draw them accordingly. So I have to draw the set of dandelions somewhere inside the yellow circle. But see, here there are several different options. I could draw the set of dandelions right there. It would still completely be inside the yellow circle, so it would meet the premise. I could also draw it right there with some overlap into the submarines. And so I would also still meet premise 2, the fact that all dandelions are yellow. It's still completely enclosed. Or the third option is I could draw the set of dandelions right there. Still meet the premise that all dandelions are yellow. So we're supposed to decide, do you have to reach the conclusion that they've reached in problem 54? The conclusion in the book is that some dandelions are submarines. Basically, this one right here. But do you have to come to that conclusion if both premises are true? And the answer is no, because this case right here for the dandelions would still satisfy the premises. All the premises would be satisfied, and you come to some conclusion other than what is in the book. Therefore, this argument is invalid, because you do not have to arrive at the conclusion that the book did. So the idea with the syllogistic argument is that you're trying to prove the argument valid. You assume it's invalid. And if you're forced to come to the conclusion that's in the text, then you can say the argument's valid. If you can come to any other conclusion than what's typed in the text, then the argument's invalid. It's sort of like the way a court of law works. You assume the person is innocent unless the evidence is so overwhelming that you decide that they are guilty. Now let's look at one more problem in this type of exercise. For problem 56, also going to be an Euler diagram. It says that all bears are furry, Teddy is furry, therefore Teddy is a bear. The first premise gives us two sets of items. You have the set of all bears and you have the set of all furry things, and you're told that all bears are furry. So if this represents the furry things in the world and this represents the bears, we know that every single one of the bears has to be furry according to that first premise. The second premise says that Teddy is furry. Now Teddy is not a set here. Teddy is an individual element. And so instead of drawing a circle to represent him, I'm going to use a dot or a small x to represent his position. And all we know about Teddy is that he is furry. That means he has to be inside the furry circle. Well, you see there's two options for where he could show up. He could be in this region and still be furry, or he could be in this region and still be furry but also a bear. So we look at the conclusion that the book comes to, which says, therefore Teddy is a bear, and decide, does that have to follow from the given premises? if all bears are furry, and if Teddy is furry, does Teddy have to be a bear? And the answer is no, because Teddy could be out here at this spot, still meet both premises, and we would not come to the conclusion that Teddy is a bear. So this argument is also invalid.